Hello folks, and welcome to Saving Miller. So we are in the middle of February now, and as you can see, we've still got a lot of dormant grass here. So I gotta go give the cows some more pasture, and we're gonna take a look at this and talk a little bit about what happened this year. So there's a lot that goes into growing winter grass, and one of the necessary things is to mow the summer grasses down. As you can see, it really causes a problem. It does a couple of things. It shades the grass from the sun, so it's not able to grow the way it would like. I need to clean that. There we go. So the winter grass doesn't grow as well as it would like because it's shaded by the summer grass. So as you can see, I mowed it over there, and actually you can't see it very well, but it is actually greening up much faster over on this side. Now, one of the things that has happened with us is that last year we really didn't get enough nitrogen on the pastures to really get it a good start. And that's just one of the things to remember, you know, just planting the seed and hoping it comes up is not always enough. The cows are out here, you know, they're, see, they help. There you can see the manure is well broken up. It's not forming big solid clumps, and so it will deteriorate and feed the grass. But it's just not enough because I've not been faithful enough with the rotational grazing. Now I am still rotating them, even in the winter, like right now where there's really not much grass. But because of all this dead stuff on top, there's not a lot of grass available for them. And so I'm actually going to open this up for them. This is where the infamous nightshade grows, and the nightshade, to the best of my knowledge, is actually a nitrogen fixer. And so it actually, the grass does really well there. It did this last year, it did this again this year. And so we actually rotate them in here periodically to eat this down. And there's not, like, I mowed the nightshade down. I actually did what I should have done on the rest of the pasture. I mowed this down, and so there really is no nightshade material here for them to eat. So I'm going to let them in here, and I'm sure they'll graze this down pretty quickly. So it's the one redeeming quality we have.
Now during most of the year I keep this fenced off because the nightshade is growing, but I mowed the nightshade down several times throughout the year, and then in the fall as it was just before it started going dormant. And so there's no dead Bermuda grass in there. The Bermuda grass actually doesn't grow very well anyway. So the winter rye there actually reseeds itself, and it comes up every year. Although I did seed over it this year just to kind of ensure that. So we let the cows graze this just during the winter when it's when the nightshade is dormant, and it works fairly well. But as you can see, since it's a nitrogen fixer, the rye does so much better there, even though the only thing I did is mow down nightshade. Whereas beside it, we have all this dead Bermuda grass on top of it. It goes dormant and then it just basically dies on top. The roots, of course, are still alive underneath. But this is the difference between, taking some care and kind of neglecting it. It also illustrates how important the interaction of different species are in a pasture. So if we had more clover, more nitrogen fixers with the Bermuda, we would likely have a much better rye crop than we do. So the way it is hasn't worked out very well this year, partly because we didn't rotate chickens through it like we have in the past, and also because we let all the dormant stuff on top. So it's an important warning to make sure that you're managing it well. In the fall, the cows don't even like to graze it because it doesn't taste very good as it's going to dormancy, because all those nutrients are going down in the roots where they're stored so that it can come back in the spring. And so that's the reason it's so long, is because the cows just didn't eat it. And I wasn't able to mow it in the fall before I seeded. The other thing that's going on is that we've had very little rain, and so often winter rains will help the ryegrass significantly, but this year it just hasn't rained. It rained once, and so we are only ordering irrigation about every 2 weeks, and that's just simply not enough to keep the short roots of the winter grass, hydrated as well as they would like. So the ground is fairly hard right now, and we need water. We're going to get water in a couple days. But between those two things, it's really working against us. It's been a bit of a challenge to to keep up with everything. And so in this case, I'm simply giving them a section of this grass. They're going to eat it down pretty quickly. They're fairly hungry. This year we knew, or we kind of got word early on, that there's going to be a shortage of hay, especially the small square bales that, all the horse owners and the small farmers like me like to buy for winter feed. And so we actually got plenty. We got 68 bales last year, or late last summer, before the price went up, and the price is now more than double what we paid for it. So I got pretty lucky there. So I did have the foresight to take care of the hay situation, even though I wasn't able to take care of the pasture, at least as well as I should have. Now, I don't know how widespread this is. I know that in the Phoenix area here, this occurred because of the monsoons, but I'm not sure if this is true across the state or not. So the combination of these three things has basically made so that the cows, at least, are not getting much nutrition at all from the pasture this winter. Now, I know in the spring, this winter grass is coming up. It's definitely going to be better. They're going to have a lot of grass to eat. But right now, it's definitely slim pickings out here. So I would say yes, in many ways, our winter pasture has failed, partially due to the weather, partially due to lack of adequate management. I could have done better with the way the cows were rotated, and I could have done a lot better by simply mowing it like I knew I should have. So it's a good lesson, if you're practicing sustainable agriculture like this and rotational grazing. These are just little things that can make a big difference and can contribute either to a lot of success or to kind of a failure, or it could even be a really big failure. So hopefully this will be helpful to some of you as you're thinking about managing your pasture. Maybe you're wondering why it didn't come up. These annual ryegrasses need a lot of nitrogen, and they need good conditions to take root and then grow well. And so I'm generally aware of most of it, but some of it I am still learning the hard way. And so you can kind of see what happened for us, and hopefully this will help you do better on yours. So till next week, Saving Miller out.